Our block archive, and today we've got 2 blocks in Gravesend. Let's go into the first one and into the lifts. These are some old express lifts that were modernised by Otis and then modernised again by generic Leicester Express Lifts Alliance. A disgusting name, a complete insult to the original Express who made some of the best quality lifts ever built, and now this shitty generic company owned by Otis is calling themselves Express. Disgusting. And I do not know what this panel is on the wall with slide to reset. It looks very interesting. And inside of the lift, despite being modernised twice, they look quite battered.
Doors closing. Going down. Ground floor.
Now if we look round the rest of the block, let's show what these lifts look like after the Otis mod. Sadly I do not have any footage of what they were like when they were completely original, but after the Otis mod they look like this. So, before we go up to motor room, let's take a look at the corridors. These blocks are quite long and thin, and the lifts are in the middle, and you can go up the corridor from 2 different directions coming off from a lift. First we head up north from the lift. And now we head south. And now go up to the motor room. Now these lifts level fairly well for generic, kind of intelligent, but not as good as a proper brand. They've got the Magnatech VF drive, commonly found on the new Leicester Controls Almaga 2 with touchscreen, but these ones, despite having a new VF drive, have the slightly older Almaga 1 Leicester Controls. And there's some interesting paperwork in the motor room. Sadly nothing from the original express lifts, but they do have the manuals for the Otis mod logic, despite the fact all of the Otis equipment has since been removed. And then we have some invoices for the modernisation. This is the modernisation by the generic express lift lights from the Otis to the Leicester. And to my amazement, look at the cost. £61,814. That seems pretty expensive considering this is quite a light mod. This mod seems pretty expensive considering all they've done is replace the Otis mod logic with Leicester controls, have added a new positioning system, added shaft switches, replaced the buttons of Dewhurst, and also have added triangle locks into the original doors. It's not really that full a mod, and looking through more of the invoices, the parts seem a bit pricey but not that expensive, and it seems they've charged a lot for labour. Yeah, everyone please do not use Express Lift Alliance. All you get is generic crap. It's got nothing to do with the original Express. Do not use Express Lift Alliance to modernise your lifts. 3,800 for a new logic. Another thing is that Express Lift Alliance on their modernisation plan stated that the Otis logic from late 90s is obsolete. I think that's quite suspect. I believe they were being dishonest here to tout trade from the council. And now we go out onto the roof. And let's surf the lift. Look how much space there is. What the fuck, when they're putting a bigger lift? Nothing's reasonable in this. And now we go to the other one of the two tower blocks.
Please mind the door. Doors
And if we take a look at his block around 10 years ago, you can see he's got some interesting looking old doors which have sadly been removed. He also had some old looking fluorescent lights, and at least in the modern day the old fluorescent lights still exist. And now go to an interesting building nearby. This is Stephenson House. Before I show you what it is like today, let's take a look at it 10 years ago. Back then it was an office building, and the lift is an old Marriott Scott lift with cone buttons. I don't know if this lift had its buttons replaced with cone, which should suggest the original buttons didn't last very long, but that can't be the case because old Dewhurst was really reliable, so it might be a lift was installed in the changeover period while cone was taking over Marriott Scott. I don't know. The building has since been converted into flats, since office space is being less and less sought after when residential space is being more and more sought after. When they convert it to flats, let's take a look at a promotional picture. This promotional picture is overly jolly looking, especially for the dreary dump of Gravesend. It doesn't look this jolly in real life. And notice they've done the typical thing of adding an extra floor, because so many 60s and 70s office buildings were so over-engineered and well built. They had heavy duty foundation and structure. In the modern day, they're easily able to add an extra floor onto the building, which is very interesting. The lift shaft has been extended. The original motor room of the lift has been removed, and if we take a look into the shaft, we can see the old concrete, but it extends to more modern sheet material for the top floor. Sadly, this means the lift has been heavily modernised. See the concrete? That was the original lift shaft, and all this bit there is an extension, hasn't it? A tatty extension. Poor Marriott Scott. What did Marriott Scott do to deserve that?